welcome back to Apollo Justice. Now we're on the 56th part, and we're gonna meet this arsehole.
This game is still going, my god. I'm so
Pedro.
tired.
Well, it's almost over at the very least.
Pedro, not for nothing, but complaining how the game's going on long isn't gonna make the game go
Dwibs, if you realize that you never allow me to complain about anything, what am I even doing here if I can complain?
The irony. Anyway,
Hello?
I'll be taking my leave now. Hey, Kristoff.
Well,
Still have some work to do back at the office.
I got to plan my 85th murder. And then I can take on the case and get my client found guilty, so he'll take the fall.
Then, I guess I'll go back to my piano.
I don't know, Phoenix. Someone apparently has plooged all over it.
No, that's just part of the setting. It's that cold. To be honest, it's better when you aren't playing. Thanks, pal. You're a great friend.
Jesus Christ.
I mean, Kristoff isn't great, but I mean, he's not
Again,
wrong, probably.
Once again, animosity in the script, even in the comedy beats, you can feel it.
You see, again, Dwibs, like I said, if the game is like this towards me, why shouldn't I, fight back? That's the problem right there.
2 hours left on my shift.
I know the feeling, Phoenix. I know the
Again, I'll say the same thing to you, Phoenix. It's not gonna make it go any faster.
You should. Yeah.
Wonder if we'll get any customers tonight.
Yes, Pedro?
The basic point is that it was the game that chose to make this personal. So.
Oh, who's this?
That's Pedro.
Oh yeah, that's me. Okay.
Oh, hello there.
Who I am? No. But if you hum it, I can play it.
Badly.
Is that a song?
I'll check if it's actually a song.
Just
Probably.
kidding.
It's a very
I don't do
basic few words.
requests.
Only commissions. I'll pay you in views.
How about a different sort of request?
Oh, it actually is a song by someone named Jessica Andrews back in 2001.
You see, I play children's cards. So can we?
Oh,
And
it's
it's
serious
also-
business.
Oh.
Yes, it is, actually.
A customer.
I came here to challenge you to a children's card game.
I was just hoping someone would come in and save me from a night at the Keys. Thank you, God.
All right. I seek a true competition. So come on, let's find a place where we can use a hologram machine.
Oh, we got something down in the basement.
Now I see the rumor is true. You're the duelist that has the red-eyes black dragon, aren't you?
I might. And this is a friend of
Oh.
yours?
Oh, wait, what?
Mm-hmm.
Howdy. Don't mind me. I'm just your friendly neighborhood newsman.
You know what's the sad part? This is the part where I'm supposed to react like, ooh, the plot thickens, but by this point, I so don't care. He will not be playing tonight. Unfortunately, he did not bring his deck.
What a bummer.
It would probably be just an Ojama deck. Ugh.
When his business is finished, I shall send him home.
Hey,
Well,
with the right setup,
well,
an
have my
Ojama
fellow
deck
Bob-
can be dangerous.
Where
Well,
I will have
any
my
deck
fellow
can be
Bob
dangerous
members
on the right set.
This
where I will have
competition
my
will be
fellow Bob
between
members
us.
execute him.
This competition will be between us. No others.
I don't believe that somehow.
There's a good channel that discusses archetypes for Yu-Gi-Oh! Joe. I'll link you to it later.
Oh, don't worry. I know all about Yu-Gi archetypes. Well, and I'm number 2. I play piano. Well, sort of. Actually, it's just a front for my real talent,
The keyword being played.
which is playing poker.
You know, I would say that the game tries to be cute and references lightly Casablanca, but no.
Thankfully
even come
not. Don't ask me how I got started. I don't remember.
When Phoenix turns to Apollo, he's looking at you, kid.
Gravy. But I'm good. Real good. As we established 7 years ago. It didn't take long for the rumors to get around.
Hey, did you guys know that Phoenix Wright lost his attorney's badge? Have I run
Everyone
that back
pointed
down your
even
head enough
laughed.
yet?
Wow, 7 years later, that guy was slow. Go to the Borscht Bowl Club if you want a real game. That guy's never lost. People don't come to hear me tickle the ivory. They come to watch me play cards.
In the basement.
What a sad tale. Phoenix has been reduced to gambling.
Well, it's not actual gambling.
Not exactly.
It's not actual gambling. It's just a game of poker to see if you'll win or not. Gambling's illegal after all.
Like Phoenix doesn't get
very
any
good.
money
Play
from
for
it.
high stakes. There's no money involved.
The big. It's not even just that. Even if it's not gambling, I still don't like I still don't like the situation that Phoenix was thrust into this by this game.
Nobody
Oh, no,
really
no one
liked
does.
it.
Yeah.
It's a handy source of income for the club owner.
You know, Dwibs.
Not much though. The most we've won is like $5. Anyway,
You know, Dwibs. That scenario, hypothetical scenario you were predicting of, fearing that they were going to turn Herschel Layton into a deadbeat father in Lady Layton. That would have been the equivalent of this.
No, Phoenix is not a deadbeat dad.
No, that's what I'm saying, Joe. In terms of turning Phoenix into a hobo, like we usually call him Hobo Phoenix, that's the equivalent of if Lady Layton would have made Herschel into a deadbeat father. Punish you for liking the character to begin with, basically.
Okay, not entirely because, making Lane a deadbeat dad is to do more of changing his character. And surprisingly, here's where we figure out that, surprise, surprise, under that whole cryptic and mysterious facade, when we're actually playing as Phoenix, Phoenix acts more like Phoenix.
He does.
Yeah, it's like I said, during these investigation bits, we actually
I
see
have
Phoenix
two
act more like him.
questions. I have two questions. One of them is probably gonna be answered by the end of this part because we're dealing with what happens right before case 1, so I'll just wait until asking it. But the second is the game that Phoenix plays in the Japanese version also still poker.
Yes.
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
It makes
because
sense. There's even a little spin-off Ace Attorney poker playing game.
Because this reminds me a bit of
Who's this guy, I wonder?
Yeah, I wonder who.
like it's just a different outfit, but the face is identical. Okay, but to be fair, I'm in this weirdly same universe where people mistook Furio Tigre for Phoenix.
And to give Phoenix credit, it's been 7 years since he last saw the guy. I have trouble recognizing some people that I've only seen a year ago.
How many more times do I have to see this fucking flashback? I get it.
But it's the thing, it's a problem, Joe. I understand that, but Zach is basically the major responsible of Phoenix's old misery. You'd think that his face will be burned in our protagonist's mental image.
Even with cases like that, there's some times where some people can take a time to recognize, and even still, Phoenix did eventually catch on.
Yes, go ahead.
Also, we're kind of at the point where Phoenix has kind of been a bit dulled on his recognition skills or whatnot. And I'm not talking about stuff with the poker playing stuff. I'm saying stuff that he's been out of the lawyer game for a while. Like, believe it or not, like he said before in Turnabout Trump, it wasn't until now, this particular day, that he started to question certain things with who his friends and enemies may have been. But a bit more on that later.
What I was saying, Joe, is about the fact, well, you played Yakuza 0, you may know, if you don't remember how the Mahjong minigame is handled to you, it's basically a situation very similar to this. You get into the basement of a bar and it's treated like a super secret thing.
Funny, because we're getting a sort of Ace Attorney-esque game from the Yakuza team.
Oh, you.
You.
Zak Gramarye? This must be a bad dream.
I am not called Zak Gramarye anymore, though.
This game may be better. This game,
In a sense, this guy ruined my life.
This game is starting to get to a point where it's basically assuming that I have anterograde amnesia. Like, seriously, they repeat the same flashback so many fucking times, and I'm so tired of
It
it.
already happened in Turnabout Serenade.
I know.
Oh, right, Olga, I forgot about her.
Yeah. We will play soon. Ready the room.
Ah, yes, for that little thing that's gonna go down.
P.S. Don't
Alright.
king pay me, bro.
All right, Phoenix. According to rules of card games, we're supposed to throw a coin to decide who plays first? Do you want heads or tails?
I always bet on heads.
All right, let's see. Turns out I'm first.
Anyway, are you really
I've
him?
got a coin.
The Zak Gramarye?
I've got a coin. I'll toss it.
Go ahead.
Heads.
Now I am Shady Smith. Remember this.
Oh, I will remember that for the upcoming autopsy report.
Phoenix will remember
Oh,
this.
it even changed the profile.
In
so-
reality...
Creative magician.
Oh, I love how it pretty much tells us his fate, by the way. He's murdered later on.
Yeah.
Well,
By the way,
yeah.
this guy's going to die.
By this time, we know already what's going to happen, which leads me to the second question: why Christoph will bother do all that overcomplicated thing just to murder Zak?
Oh, you'll see. Let's just say Christoph was not expecting Zak to show up here.
Okay.
Hey, but think about it like this. We don't need to bother talk about how we could improve Zak's character, because Christoph improved his character in the best way possible, making the
I have a
ultimate
question.
sacrifice.
I have a
Yes?
question. Why is he abandoning Trucy? Like, go back and get Trucy, maybe.
Well, he doesn't want
No?
to commit her to a life on the run. However...
Oh, he's
So-
currently
so-
asking.
so-
He's currently
so-
asking about her. So
So abandoning her, regardless of that, she right. So abandoning her to a complete a complete stranger that he trusts for some reason, but still a stranger, is better.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I would kind of hate him for dooming a child to a life on the run. Like, at least with the stranger, she has a chance at least something of a normal life. On the
I
run with
guess,
him,
but-
though, her life would be bad. Don't worry, though, there's plenty of other reasons to date this guy. Let's start off with reason number one. You remember that poker playing game that was pretty much the whole cusp of the first case? Yeah, there's no hidden reasons behind that. Shady does want to defeat Phoenix, because Phoenix is one of the few people to beat him in a game of poker. Even though defeating Phoenix in a game of poker means that Phoenix loses his job that's bringing money to the table. Huh.
Brilliant.
Jesus.
I despise
Secondly,
losing above all else.
so yeah, again, here I was thinking that there's gonna be some really huge secret reason to why this guy did all this. No, he's just a jerk. There's an entire comic dedicated to how Zak is a jerk, so I'll just sum it up like... Actually, no. To sum it up now would be to spoil some reasons. I'll let you guys see if you can pick up on some. I know this guy's type, and they're dangerous.
Ugh.
Everything's about the competition. All else is secondary.
Haven't you heard, Mr. Wright?
including his child.
Haven't you heard, Mr. Wright? Card games are serious business. Perhaps we should take this time to talk before we play.
Yes, I have a great deal of questions.
All right, before we play our children's card game, I have a speech to tell you about friendship. So I know you have much to ask me, and you. Friendship is the greatest. Friendship is
It's
the greatest
magic.
thing ever.
He's a magician. Say it. It's
No.
magic.
No.
Yes.
I must say, it comes as quite a surprise.
In this frozen wasteland,
I never knew you played.
and you'll never see me play.
Yay?
I'd do anything else if I could, believe me, but I can't because I lost my badge.
All
Just
right.
say-
Oh, yeah, there's something you could help me with. Do you think you can make that piano disappear?
Priorities, Phoenix.
It'd help out in a lot of ways, really. I keep telling them, I'm better at DJ mixing. Just because I'm good at slamming stuff with my hands doesn't mean I'm good with a piano.
Why haven't they got him playing the drum?
You say the funniest things with the straightest face. I hate you.
Yeah, that's a good point, Shirai. I mean, there's literally a gif of Phoenix doing good at the drums. People always tell me that. Except I wasn't joking. See, this sounds like Phoenix, you know, the guy who's kind of plopped into these inane situations and has a snark to back it up, as opposed to being the one who
Yes.
forces the inane situation on someone else. Granted, there is actually a reason for why he was acting
so
cryptic. Oh.
This is grape juice.
I usually drink too much, and it ends up making me thirsty.
Translation: it's alcohol, but we wanted to hide that in the localization.
Actually,
No, it was
Nope.
always grape juice in the Japanese version.
Here's something,
Alright.
Pedro.
The same as
Yes.
in case 2-4.
Here's something, Pedro. Japan does not like little kids seeing games with alcohol in it. No, I'm not kidding. They hate presenting alcohol before kids.
I guess.
Well, actually, in this case, we mentioned it way at the beginning of the LP,
wait.
but apparently it was put in because it's one of the producer's favorite drinks.
Wait, Jova. In that case, why does level 5 have an entire backstory of Menji Mutt getting drunk when he was a human?
Well,
and then
do
he
they?
died?
Well, Pedro, they don't show the alcohol now, do they? They just show the
Actually,
effects.
well, they do show. Yes, they show you drinking it and everything.
They
Well,
show
I just
the-
explained it in this instance.
I guess
so-
it also depends on the product itself. Whenever remember the fact that Master Roshi gets drunk on a frequent basis.
That
The original
too.
version.
Not to mention also the fact that it can vary from... Basically, it's the norm with Japanese companies, and level 5, as we've seen many times, go outside that norm. You know, funnily enough, a reminder, Godo was originally supposed to smoke and drink bourbon whiskey, but Takumi and company decided that wasn't kid-friendly enough, so they basically made him a coffee addict instead. Which led to a lot more fun stuff,
But
if you ask me.
that's not healthy either.
Hey, at least coffee can help you stimulate. Anyway,
Mm.
on days when I'm playing, that is.
What do you think about the ukulele?
I like the ukulele.
I wonder.
The sound is slight. The annoyance curtailed?
Curtailed means mitigated.
Yeah,
A ukulele in a Russian restaurant.
that's a weird match.
Then you must go to a Hawaiian restaurant. Is this conversation going somewhere?
It's
Can
one
we
of the
play
s-
cards now?
It's one of the side bits. Hawaiian shirts don't go with my complexion. Oh God, is that ever true?
Also
Just
that face.
Wah, ha, 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 ha. I give up. Oh, good. Oh, good. Great. Great. Can we go now? Just shut up and play a children's card game. Like,
Meaning of competition.
We competed that day 7 years ago too.
Yes.
7
Yes,
years
yes.
ago. I'm thinking about making that a tagline saying so everyone will be saying it eventually.
Slap it on a
I-
shirt and sell it, Phoenix.
yes, you must have been surprised. Called to the detention center out of the blue.
I wish I could say I was more surprised than I normally am. 2,
Yo,
1.
Hey, Dwibs.
Showdown time.
Alright, I activate my trap card. Bottomless hole.
Also, just saying, I find real hard to visualize one as over the top as Phoenix having to do a poker face.
Well, honestly, Phoenix has been pretty good at giving poker faces when he needs to. I mean,
Well, he's good at bluffing, yes, that's true, but I don't know, maintaining a stoic face for situations, I find hard to visualize him resisting the urge.
to be fair to you, whenever he makes his biggest bluff is that's when he has his determined look on, which is pretty much, you know, his stoic face. He only really shows the whole sweat and sheepish grin stuff when he's more so embarrassed rather than trying to keep a secret, more often than not. Anyway,
Okay.
you chose your defense attorney by playing poker.
Some are hired, others fired.
So who was
That's a
the...
terrible way of thinking.
When you compete, you see a man's true nature. So there you go.
So let me see if I can get this straight. You chose
chooses
your...
attorneys by the spirit of competition.
But don't you see, Dwibs? You only truly know someone when you fight them.
So let me see if I can get
So I
this
should find
straight.
whoever I'm dating them.
Yes, Java?
So...
We're literally taking Matrix Reloaded logic. Are you fucking
Hmm.
serious?
No. Anyway, so let me see if I can get this straight. You choose your lawyers. So you chose the best lawyer, only to later have this court case, which it seems like you knew this was all gonna go to crap, so why did you even bother getting such a great lawyer if you had your escape plan already?
Ugh.
Oh wait, that's right, because he needed somebody to trust to leave Trucy with. Lucky me. I mean, I adore Trucy. She means the world to me, but of all the ways to get a child...
Like, he planned to ditch his daughter from the get-go.
Yeah.
Father of the year, ladies and gentlemen.
Patanir got nothing on this.
Well, at least you got a better father out of the deal.
Yeah.
True.
Daddy, he's got a good hand.
It's good for slamming desks. It's good for training good for training prodigies.
Good at pointing at people.
That too.
You might have a chance if you act quick. Better call him soon.
Yeah, Trucy's kind of my agent in that regard as well.
Isn't that cheating?
No, I said agent, not aid. Well, can you tell me what her power is?
Over 9,000?
Remember, judging a person's thoughts by reading their reactions is a stable of performance. But remember, Teo, every single ability in this universe is declared a superpower. But those of Trucy's line possess far greater skill.
They have the ability to fix the plot.
Her line?
Yeah, she kept forgetting her line.
Recall, you were the second man to whom I've lost.
Dare I ask who was the first? Magnific Gramarye.
There you go, see?
So Phoenix is a wizard?
Oh god.
That was the first time I learned of this power, as you call it.
Well, I'm just an awesome normal guy because I apparently don't have this power.
Well, Phoenix already has the power of endurance.
Magatama.
The Magatama is an
so
Well, the Magatama is an
it's
external...
more like a gadget.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. The
It's pretty
Magatama...
much Edgeworth who doesn't have a
Her
power.
power is generic.
Shiroi, wait till investigations. They kind of turn basic logic into
a
a...
thing in this universe.
Shiroi, believe it or not, in investigations they turn basic logic into a superpower. No, I'm not kidding. Even Pros D dubbed a comic that jokes about that. Made by good old awkward zombie, of course.
Oh boy.
Speaking of powers...
I am sorry, but it is not something told lightly to outsiders.
Oh, no. I am way deep in this.
True. And it is nothing you need to know at this time. Fuck off.
I'll be the judge of that.
If this is about Trucy and Phoenix is now her father, you know, it's kind of neat to know.
It's some
One thing
kind
that
of
I want
Gramarye
to
secret,
raise,
then.
Bo, is
Fine.
this. As much as I appreciate the return of the Cyclops, the mechanic tied to them was that you could not obtain information on the moment. You need to collect stuff around and then come back later. Here, it happens all at the same time. There is no pacing to it.
Yeah, there are some, I believe, if I recall correctly, there are some Cyclops challenges that do require you to change stuff. However, this was kind of a signal of things to come because there's one thing that I'm not too keen of in the 3DS games. It's how, yeah, pretty much most of the Magatama sessions are, as you put it, able to be solved all in one go as opposed to having to go other places. That is generally how they kind of are in the 3DS games. Less so in 6, but 5, yeah.
For 5 I can imagine, because you also had to deal with the two other major superpowers, Apollo and whatever that emotional thing Athena has.
Oh, but that's the thing, they also make Apollo's thing easier to deal with by never having it show up in Cordon 5.
Huh.
But more on that later.
Athena has widgets, too.
Well, remember, I haven't played the game yet, so...
And no audience, I'm not talking about that alien super thingy from the 90s cartoon. A transferal of rights. You see the signature?
What does this specifically mean? Oh, it's a testament, okay.
It's the rights to the Gramarye show, and basically the rights to do it. A transferal? That's Magnific Gramarye's signature, isn't it? I hereby give all rights to the secret staging and performance of my magic. Interesting. To the recipient named below.
I don't know a guy named Below, do you?
As above, so below.
And the recipient's name is some guy who's missing. You, Zak Gramarye.
Yeah. Yes, it is I.
It is I, Shadi Smith.
Wait. This page looks torn.
So
Kind
that
of-
was the actual missing page?
Wait. No. That would mean that he knew that the page I had was an absolute fake and knowingly let me lose my badge.
Brilliant. You recall the diary, yes?
First, take a close look at this diary.
Sure, why not?
Note that a page has clearly been ripped out.
Okay, so...
As it just so happens,
Yes.
I have here what I believe to be the missing page.
Dun dun.
The elevator.
Yes?
Let me see that. We've already done this bit.
Again, it's like I said, like seriously,
This
so many.
game loves repetition.
Okay,
Yeah.
to be fair, that particular scene hasn't been shown in a while as per the perspective of the
Oh,
player.
honestly, no, I think it's the first time it's reproposed,
Mhm.
this particular one.
That
Still.
scrap of paper lost me my attorney's badge.
Now I
when you
can't
say it
even
like that,
present it anymore.
gee, the Phoenix, when you say it like that, it sounds like a really fucking despicable thing for a writer to do. Sorry, this is the real page that was torn from the book. Magnify gave it to me that night
Why didn't you give it to Phoenix then?
because I'm a moron.
Because he's a jerk.
Or that too, yes.
My name is Zak Gramarye, and I'm a jerk.
Yep, basically.
You can be a jerk and a moron.
True. You could have told me
told
this
that.
7 years earlier.
Well, that's what I said, Shiwa, that too. Once again, I must apologize.
Well, sorry doesn't get me my badge back.
Yeah. You know.
Oh,
you
wait,
know,
this bit.
asshole,
Oh, wait, this bit.
All I could do to prepare for my escape from that court.
So you didn't care about your lawyer who worked his butt off for you.
You didn't care
know,
about
you
your
know-
daughter.
child.
Not just that, but you know, asshole, we have a saying here in my country: apologies should not be made; they should be avoided.
True that.
Anyway, as such, they are well protected by this document.
It all comes down to copyright.
Yeah, this entire game's about frigging copyright disputes.
Only its bearer may perform his illusions on stage.
Sounds like a pretty important thing to have if you're his disciple.
Gee, I wonder what exactly happened between Zak and Valen.
Valent.
Gee, I wonder what.
To be fair, it wasn't exactly what I thought it was. It's actually something slightly different.
Only
Rightful.
I'm sure you know who I chose as my successor.
Valent?
No.
I chose you, Phoenix.
Your daughter.
Yeah.
Dun, dun, nah.
yeah, we know.
That is why I risked all to come here tonight.
Aw, he did something good for his
Good
daughter.
for you.
Yeah, it took you 7 years.
Ugh, Brushel.
Ah, sir. Alright, here you go.
A purple
And look at
envelope.
that! A purple envelope. What's this?
It's the special purple. Ow! Shut up.
A letter passing the rights I have inherited to Trucy.
I'd imagine that's what the kind of guy Zach would be.
So there you go,
Someone's trying to tell him
Tail,
information, but he just slaps him saying, shut up.
So there you go, Theo. Trucy is now going to be the last hope of the Gramarye line.
Yay.
I would have you sign here. Well, this does come back in his Attorney 6, where she's trying to resurrect the dignity of the Gramarye name.
It's like I
Okay.
said, on paper and overall, this does have a good story to tell. The problem is the execution, and the fact that it's so negatively affecting characters we've grown to know and love. Like, let's pretend that this is a completely original character. Then it wouldn't hurt as much.
Yeah.
I'm a certified notary.
This also does give more depth to Brushell's character and why he's so involved with this case as well. Which again, there are good components to this case. I will say this. On paper, this would read as a good story. The problem is that it has characters that we've grown to know and love and thus ends up writing some of them horribly out of character, has to really brute force its way to ruin their lives and then some. And yeah. Sadly, we can blame a lot of this on executive mandates, and it still hurts like dang.
When I take off the glasses, I can't see very well.
Your signature, please. This is the first reason I have come here tonight.
Technically, it's for Trucy, so I will let this one slide.
Trust all rights added to the court record.
Why are you adding stuff to the court record, Mr. Wright?
Oh, I can't imagine there possibly being a murder in the near future.
Remember, the court. Everybody in this universe has a court record where they put their items.
Remember, guys, this is technically all sort of a time travel recording that has evidence for the current case going on.
Don't forget, Dwibs, that in the world of his attorney, every possession is a hologram. So.
Now, okay,
7 years.
let's talk 7 years.
That's true.
There's a
about 7
law
years ago.
that covers your situation. I sort of dealt with it not too long ago.
Jude Law.
After 7 years, missing persons are considered to be legally deceased. A friend of mine had a mother who was considered missing, and then she found her, or rather her dead body. So if someone was to vanish from the face of the earth 7 years ago, my god, I've just realized that a lot of assistant characters have bad lucks with parents
Totally.
being missing and then
Jova?
ending up dead.
Jova, totally random question. Why bother coming up with the word people if you can say persons?
I don't know. The vocabulary is weird that way, ain't it?
I think, remember, the English language is a pastiche of Celtic, Norse, and a bit of Latin, so it's a bit of a clusterfuck.
I risk showing my face in public for the sake of this document.
To get the rights to your
Well-
daughter.
Am I supposed to commend you? Applaud you? Am I?
You wanna
No,
prove
you've
it?
been non-existent for 7 years in your child's life, and you're gonna continue to do
Also,
so.
I forgot if I asked this question in the first case, because I remember it was brought up in the first case, but why specifically 7 years? Should it usually be 10?
It depends on each state's law system.
You might say I'm securing my daughter's inheritance.
But do you really need this document?
Well...
Yes.
Yes.
Wouldn't Trucy inherit your estate automatically?
Yeah, but remember, there's like 5 billion people in this family.
Really now?
She's probably too young to
Not
actually.
in this case, I'm afraid. There's Valent. Yeah.
And considering what we know so far, he may be just as dick as his brother.
Brother.
Well, whatever, partner. Ex-partner.
Yeah, Gramarye's just the stage name, technically.
Yes. I received the performance rights from Magnify Gramarye.
Magnificent.
However, this was done in secret, without witnesses.
Oh.
Looking back, yeah, we probably should have handled things differently. Before Magnify died, 2 potential successors to his repertoire were named. I wonder who.
You know, for as much as Zak is a jerk, Magnify has him beat, as I'm sure Dwibs was about to bring up.
Yeah, that's what I said. I think Magnify's worse than Zak.
Oh,
Wow,
yeah.
really?
Honestly, Dwibs, they can all die in a fire as far as I'm concerned.
Let's just say, it seems like the requirement for joining the Gramarye troop, aside from Trucy, is that you gotta be a massive balance one way or another.
What about
Basically-
that Taliesin one?
Basically,
Well,
Theo,
she's dead or missing.
Basically, Theo, in Ace 26, she's like, well, I guess I'll be the first Gramarye who is not a piece of shit. Now, only 3 know of my rebirth.
Like a phoenix.
You might say I rose from the ashes.
You don't
huh?
get. Shut up.
Huh?
You don't get to do that. Not after. Honestly, look. Maybe if someday I rise from my own ashes, then you can make that joke if you live to see it. But, you'll probably live forever, and I'll probably never get to be an attorney again. Ain't the world great like that?
Wink.
It is as you say.
You're going to die. You're not supposed to say that to a Jonah.
It's one of the few cases where I'm A-okay with spoiling what's gonna happen because we already know what's gonna happen. Okay, resisting the urge to strangle this guy, I was kind of hoping he'd say something about the mother at this point.
Maybe that's what's tied to the Cyclops.
I really do not want Crazy to be involved. I know everyone else, but Trucy's mother is a mystery. I know it can't be Iris because she's still in jail as far as I know.
Well, we can't do the Cyclock yet, so let's present him with this special locket.
This person in the photo is Trucy's mother.
How did you come by this?
Take a look, guys.
We bought it on eBay.
Trucy showed it to me and gave it to me.
It's like he's Patty Spaceballs. I found it in a Cracker Jam box.
She said her mother was gone.
That's gonna be the new Avatar episode, Trucy Alone.
Then it is so.
What?
Huh? Huh?
Hey?
She is gone. What more is there to say?
Let's see.
I want to punch this game, but unfortunately, it's a digital, non-physical thing, so I can't.
This is.
Don't go punching my phone either.
Yes, Yuri?
I don't know what this is.
Ah, I know.
You do?
Oh, wait, can someone tell us?
Whoa!
Please?
You're still here?
Oh, that's rude.
The game has to point out that. Jesus.
According to my in-depth research,
Of course, being a reporter. Oh, I guess this'll
He's
come in
about to
handy.
be cut off.
Trucy's mother, Magnifique Gramarye's only daughter, end quote.
That's not very helpful.
What? Wait, Magnify's daughter? Is that true, Mr. Zak? Actually, sure, that's very helpful. Turns out Trucy's mother is Magnify's own daughter.
Brushel, you say too much.
How dare you be helpful?
You might want to go home now.
Why am I the bad guy? Why?
What are you doing?
He's nervous.
Mm.
Zak decked him.
Just pretend that he decked him.
Like, yeah.
In any case, Mr. Wright, this discussion is over. I will not tell you the plot.
I'll decide when it's over. The Gramarye. She's the most mysterious of the whole lot. I need to gather me more evidence, clearly.
Well, the prelude may have been longer than the main attraction. Shall we begin our game? My final competition?
They're really hammering it that he's going to die.
Yeah.
Final? Why?
I like being alive. I like being alive.
Like being alive.
Oh, I like being alive. I like being alive. I like being alive. As you said, I will come out of hiding today to make this document legally binding and to challenge you to a children's card. Once that is done, I shall slip once more underground.
Never to be heard from again.
Deep, yo.
Well, I don't even want to see his face again, so fine
Without
by
seeing
me.
your daughter?
She's better off without him.
Hey, at least someone's calling him out. Well, Zak?
It would be best if I did not. To be fair, he's right in that account. Like, as far as I'm concerned, I want this guy away from Trucy. 7 years ago, we played 7. Like the one thing that I can, the one thing that doesn't, like the one thing I can at least say good about him as a parent is that he doesn't beat his daughter. That's like the one thing. Yeah, I already lost to Magnify. I do not, or Magnify, whatever you pronounce his name. I do not care to lose to another.
Dude, you managed to escape. Scot-free clean, without a verdict. Your daughter's gonna get the rights. Do you really need to do this?
Yes. Don't you see, Mr. Wright? I have the slot for the Sky Dragon card.
Look,
you don't stand a chance.
It's just a rumor that I never lose, even though it's true.
Yes, for it is impossible to never lose, unless one has an ace up one sleeve, which I do. I'm guessing you also have an Egyptian god card.
Let's get back to talking poker.
As a magician, it causes me no end of irritation.
As a magician, do you even do shows anymore?
Yeah, you can't be a magician if you don't do shows, asshole. To think a mere lawyer might be out there, pulling the wool over so many odds.
I'm sorry, where is this coming from?
So basically what you're saying is that it's all an ego thing. That cannot possibly allow someone to be successful other than me.
Okay.
Well, that was kind of clear ages ago.
See, this would have been the great moment to establish that there's actually a secret reason behind why Zach established this poker game, but no, he wanted to legit beat Phoenix, which would have made Phoenix lose his job, which would have lost him the amount of revenue.
Ugh. For my final competition, I will destroy your perfect record, Phoenix Wright. What a wonderful.
Where did I hear
goal.
that before?
Are you a prosecutor now?
Of
This
the
will be my final
poker
performance.
tournament.
Yes, we get it. He's going to
This
die.
guy is beyond serious. So much for a fun evening of cards.
So much for a fun game.
I'd rather go back to playing the piano.
Russell, you may leave.
Ah, but it's your last game. I mean, what a scoop.
Special,
No.
you're an actual decent human being, so it's best you be away from here.
No, fuck off.
You're
punch-
eccentric, but
I punch and I punch, but still,
Oh,
it is
so
not
he's an
enough.
abuser too.
Brilliant. I don't even know what does that even mean. I punch and I punch.
I just remembered a future prior engagement.
Sure, why not?
like, is he being sarcastic or does he actually hit him?
Nice meeting you, piano man.
Hey, that's lawyer man to you. Never mind,
You're
it's
not a
piano
lawyer.
man.
Then let us begin. Dealer.
I
Da,
have a name, you know.
Dimension the dice.
da.
You will be the witness to our competition.
Oh, yes, and that's what Danya. I mean, of course. Da, it is honor for me.
Sure.
Oh, really? Why haven't I seen her around here before?
And Phoenix doesn't connect the dots.
Well, as far as he knows, normally things just go fine. Again, let's just say Phoenix didn't know the real truth about things until a bit. Well, like he himself said, it was only after or during the time he made the call to Kristoff when he started to see things in a different light. More or
Yeah.
less.
He did not seem to notice me, however.
Oh, who was that familiar face, I wonder?
Hmm. Gavin, I believe was his name. And Gavin was his name. Oh.
You know him? How would you
Sure.
know one of my best friends?
I just do because the plot asks me to. After a fashion. Listen, Phoenix Wright.
Phoenix, you need to get better friends.
Well, that's the thing. Well, sure, Larry may have his flaws, but he's still good-hearted and well-intentioned at his core.
Yeah, but
He's
as
not
far-
here anymore, is
Yeah, as far as this game is
Yeah.
concerned, a lot of Phoenix's friends don't exist anymore. This is one reason why this is one big problem I have with Apollo Justice, is the disconnect it made, but more on that later. The Gramarye power. Oh, right, here's the thing. Usually whenever the investigation sections fade to this shade of color, that usually means you're done. However, as you can clearly probably guess, we ain't done here because of that Magatama sequence.
Brilliant.
It's
Yeah, that's
Weird.
not till later.
It's weird why they do it like this. Anyway, I'd need to meet that reporter again, if that was clear. And one other thing.
Fuck you, Zach.
And your
Yes.
suit sucks.
From the moment my final competition with Zach began that night, things started to get better.
Your suit sucks. Your mini poopy head. Blah.
A name was running through my head.
And your goatee
Shoot
sucks.
Oh wait. Sorry.
The name of a man now in prison.
Edgeworth? Oh, no, wait, not Edgeworth. What did I think Edgeworth?
A name Zak Gramarye knew. But how? And why? I hate when I'm in the dark like this.
You're in the dark, you're in a weird sepia tone.
Then stop thinking then.
I think it's
Jesus.
sepia.
Oh,
Now we got
never
Soldier
mind. I mean,
Sulfur.
yeah, even though it fades to Sepatone, the checkmark ain't there, which is your clue that you're gonna come back there. I guess it's weird why they didn't save it for the last bit of dialogue which will occur there, but not too much big compared to a lot of
All
other
right.
stuff.
Anyway,
We'll
we'll
con-
continue our Mason system excursion in the next part.
See ya.
Yes. What's the
See
next
ya.
item in the checklist? See you then.